let's talk about Arizona though. We got to get into that because that was one of the wildest college basketball games I can ever remember seeing. T.O., if a team gets tested like this, like we've seen it a couple times with top seeds, Gonzaga last night, Arizona tonight, Duke today. What is that a good thing for them moving forward to be able to get punched in the mouth and to survive and keep it moving? Because that game right there,
it's TCU, better than the alternative.
TCU could have, should have, maybe would have won that game if a couple things went a different way.
Yeah, I mean, but the great teams figure ways out. Like, to kind of combat the point we're talking about Illinois, like if you were as good as a lot of people thought you were, you would have figured it out. And Arizona figured it out tonight. Obviously, a couple of bad bounces go a different way to TCU, and then you're living. But at the same time, this Arizona team, kudos to Kirk Kriisa coming out and playing. Didn't play great, but he got out there, he played, he gave his guys a lift. It's better than the alternative. Like I said, like, would you rather play beautifully like Memphis and lose? Or would you rather grit one out and keep moving forward? Arizona, I don't really put any stock into it because now you got 5 days off until the next game. You're going to see completely different teams coming up next week. Like St. Peter's, if they would have played tomorrow as opposed to next, like, what is it, Thursday or Friday? I'm not sure the schedule. Yeah. Like, I think St. Peter's might be able to have a chance for winning another game. But since they're waiting 4 or 5 days and they're going to get scouted and all that stuff, it might be a little bit more difficult.
Look, I think Arizona grew in this performance today, and I think we learned a lot about them because they haven't been in a lot of games like this. They haven't had to, come back. They haven't, had their back against the wall, and I just felt like they had a response. And in particular, I mean, their 2 guys, Matherin and Koloko, really, really stepped up. I mean, everyone's going to talk about Koloko going for 28 and 12 and shooting 12 of 13, and like that's justified and whatever. But holy cow, the play of the game for him was the defensive play he made in the final 10 seconds of regulation when they blitz the ball screen. He moves his feet on the perimeter. That's why he's so good. That's why Arizona is so good. That's why I draft him potentially in the first round. I mean, his ability defensively has changed this team. He blocks shots. He moves his feet on the perimeter. He is a monster, and he is the reason they're as good as they are. So, I just thought that for him and Matherin to step up the way that they did in the brightest, lights and the biggest moment was critical for this team. Look, are they going to win a national championship if Kirk Kriisa shoots 1 for 10 from the field? Probably not. Like that's the reality. But, they live to fight another day despite that. They live to fight another week for Kirk Kriisa's ankle to get a little healthier because
it better be healthy because Houston's that's going to be interesting.
They're going to scramble you. They're going to scramble you. So no, I mean, you live to fight another week, and when you have 3 players as good as Tabelis, Koloko, and Matherin, you got a shot.
Yeah, that Arizona Houston game is going to be so much fun. That might honestly that's going to be the biggest and best game of the Sweet 16, I think, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more in a second. But that might be the best for me, the most intriguing game of the tournament to date. Memphis Gonzaga is up there, but is that am I saying too much there? Am I going too all in on that?
I thought Memphis Gonzaga was such a cool matchup going into the game because it was they kind of fit each other perfectly for what each team's weakness was, right? Like, so I would venture to say that's probably the best one so far. That Arizona Houston's going to be awesome. It's going to be a great game. But as far as anticipation, Houston's really good. But that Gonzaga, I this might just be me personally. That Gonzaga Memphis game, I was really intrigued by.
Sweeney,
man, I mean, I'm as excited for that one as I am any ball game this March. I mean, look, as someone who couldn't have been more juiced up for Murray State versus San Francisco, and that game lived up to all the hype. I think, this game, it's very different stylistically, but it's very similar in that I'm just so intrigued by the coaching chess match, right? I mean, the way that Kelvin Sampson is going to, blitz Arizona and force the ball out of Koloko's hands and trap in corners and do so many different things to make Arizona uncomfortable and take them out of their rhythm. And then what Tommy Lloyd's adjustments are going to be on the offensive end. He's one of the sharpest, offensive minds in the country. They run really, really good stuff. How is he going to get Matherin downhill? How is he going to get Tabelis involved? How are they going to be able to run and control tempo? I mean, to me, that game is the game of the Sweet 16 for sure. I mean, you can look ahead and you can look ahead to potentially Gonzaga Duke and get excited about that. I think Duke Texas Tech is going to be a whale of a ball game. I cannot wait for that one. But if you said, look, you can only watch one game for the entire Sweet 16, I'm taking Houston, Arizona, and I'm going to enjoy all 2.5 hours of it because I guarantee that thing's going to be physical and that thing's going to take a while.
You know what's amazing about Tommy Lloyd? He is so good at scheming ways to lift the defense and create backdoor cuts and lift the defense and create space for some of his drivers. When he's playing 2 7-footers that aren't going to do anything outside of like 5 feet from the basket, he could put Umar Ballo. Is it Umar or Omar?
Umar, I believe.
Oh yeah, Umar Ballo and Christian Coloco out there together, and he's still finding ways to get guys getting to the rim in space, getting downhill, turning a corner with a driving lane. It's a delight to watch them run offense. And one last note, TCU, man, what a performance. I would love to be able to that's the hardest part of the NCAA tournament for me, is to go out there and see a team like TCU play as hard as they did, play their balls off, nuts hanging dang it, play their nuts off, and find a way to take a number 1 seed to the brink, and then it's just over. So, it's over like that. It sucks.
Yeah, it's tough. It was almost like watching Connecticut really battle New Mexico State and then them just get smacked in the mouth and sent home.
It was nothing like that at all. It was nothing like that. Teddy Allen owns the entire state right now. He is the king of stores.
He does. Well,
TCU's gonna be back. TCU's gonna be back though.
Yeah, they are.
Lampkin's a redshirt freshman. He has been awesome. I think Mike Miles will come back.
He's enormous. I love watching him because he just kind of waddles where he wants to go, and no one can do anything about it. He just gets in front of the rim and hoovers up every rebound that is within 5 feet of him. I love that guy, and he's like him and Kirk Carissa should have like a celly off. Like, who's got the best celebrations out of those two? Listen,
I love that
we got to pay the bills here. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about Purdue. We're going to talk about Villanova and Ohio State, and we're going to take a look ahead at the Sweet 16.